You've booked the cruise of a lifetime, but instead of fighting for a spot at the overcrowded pool deck, picture discovering secret vantage points where the views are breathtaking and the peace is absolute. Today, I'm revealing the top 10 hidden spots on cruise ships that only savvy travelers know about. Get ready to elevate your next voyage. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're anything like me, you love the thrill of cruise, the open ocean, the exotic ports, and those moments where you just stop and soak in the scenery. But let's be real, the main decks can get packed with sunbathers, kids splashing around, and endless lines for the buffet. That's why today we're diving into something special. The title says it all: secret spots for the best views on cruise ships. These aren't your typical tourist traps. These are the hidden havens that give you those postcard perfect panoramas without the hassle. We'll count them down from 10 to 1, starting with the more accessible ones and building up to the ultimate insider secrets. For each spot, I'll explain what it is, why it's amazing for views, how to find it, and some pro tips to make the most of it. Trust me, once you know these, your next cruise will never be the same. Let's kick. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Things off with number 10, the promenade deck wraparound. Okay, so what is this? On most cruise ships, especially those from lines like Royal Caribbean or Carnival, there's a promenade deck that circles the entire ship, usually on deck 4 or 5. But the secret part is the wraparound section at the bow or stern, where the path juts out a bit and gives you an unobstructed 180-degree view of the ocean. Why is it one of the best for views? Because you're right at sea level, feeling the spray from the waves, and you can watch the ship slice through the water like a knife. It's especially magical during sail away from port, when the city skyline recedes behind you, or at sunset when the light dances on the water. How do you find it? Just head to the promenade and keep walking until you hit the end. Sometimes there's a small gate or just an open railing. Pro tip: go early in the morning when joggers are out, but the crowds haven't woken up yet. Bring a coffee from the buffet and just stand there, letting the world drift by. It's serene, it's free, and it feels like your own private balcony without the sweet price tag. Moving on to number 9, the aft pool deck at off-peak hours. All right, this one might sound obvious, but hear me out. It's all about timing. The aft pool is the one at the back of the ship, often with hot tubs and loungers facing rearward. What makes it secret? During peak times, it's buzzing, but hit it at dawn, dusk, or late night, and it transforms into a ghost town with killer views. Why banned? Wait, no, why best? Because from here, you get the wake of the ship trailing behind like a frothy ribbon, stretching to the horizon. It's hypnotic, especially if you're sailing through calm seas or watching dolphins play in the churn. On ships like Norwegian's Breakaway class, these areas have tiered seating that lets you look out over multiple levels. To find it, just navigate to the highest aft deck with pools, usually decks 15 or 16. Pro tip: pack a blanket for chilly evenings, and if your ship has an adults-only section like Spice H2O and Norwegian, that's even better for uninterrupted vibes. I've spent hours here stargazing, and it's one of those spots where you forget you're on a floating hotel with 4,000 other people. Number 8, the observation lounge windows. Now we're getting into the indoor secrets. Most modern ships have an observation lounge. Think Crow's Nest on Holland America or the Viking Crown Lounge on Royal Caribbean, located high up at the front with floor-to-ceiling windows. What is it exactly? It's decks up, so you see the bow cutting through waves, icebergs in Alaska cruises, or fjords in Norway like you're in a planetarium. It's weatherproof too, no wind or rain to spoil it. Finding it's easy. Check your deck plans. It's usually forward on the top decks. Pro tip, visit during sea days when everyone's at activities, or right after dinner when the lounge empties. Order a cocktail, put on some headphones, and watch the world drift by. It's serene, it's free, and it feels like your own private balcony without the sweet price tag. Moving on to number 7, the mooring deck forward. This one's a bit more adventurous. The mooring deck is where the crew ties up the ship in port, usually at the very front on lower decks like decks 4 or 5. But the secret part is it's not always open to passengers, but on many ships, especially older ones from Princess or Celebrity, there's public access via exterior stairs. What makes it secret? It's off the beaten path, so few people venture there. The views? Insane. You're practically at the tip of the ship with nothing but ocean ahead. Imagine watching the approach to Port Santorini with cliffs rising dramatically. Why it's great? The perspective is unique. You feel the ship's power as it plows forward, and the sound of waves crashing against the hull is immersive. To access, just look for signs to forward deck or ask guest services. Sometimes it's open for certain hours. Pro tip, wear non-slip shoes because it can be wet, and avoid it during calm weather to avoid spray. This spot is gold for photographers. The unobstructed foreground makes for stunning shots of sunrises or wildlife. Number 6, the bridge wings. Okay, this is where we start hitting the real hidden gems. Bridge wings are the extended platforms on either side of the navigation bridge, where officers oversee docking. On some ships, like those from MSC or Costa, passengers can access them via adjacent decks. What is it exactly? It's essentially outdoor balconies flanking the bridge, offering side views that sweep from bow to stern. Why best for views? You get a captain's eye perspective, high up with vistas of the ship's length and the sea beyond. It's epic for watching maneuvers in tight harbors or spotting whales off the side. Finding it, head to the deck just below the bridge, often deck 14 or 15, and look for doors leading outside, sometimes labeled Accessible Observation Area. Pro tip, these can be windy, so hold on to hats, and they're often empty during non-docking times. If your ship offers bridge tours, that's a bonus way in, but even without, polite inquiry at the bridge door might score you access. Halfway there, number 5, the helipad. Yes, many cruise ships have helipads, usually at the bow for emergency use. On lines like Silversea or Seabourn, they're more accessible, but even on mass market ships like Carnival's Vista class, you can often wander up. What is it? A flat, open platform at the front, marked with an H. The secret, it's rarely used, so it's a wide open space with 360-degree views. Why amazing? You're at the absolute forefront, with wind in your face and views of approaching land masses or endless blue. Sunset here feels cinematic, like you're in a movie. Access? Climb the forward stairs to the top deck. Sometimes there's a gate, but it's often unlocked during the day. Pro tip, check with crew if it's okay, safety first, and avoid during high winds or helicopter ops, which are rare on cruises. Bring binoculars for bird watching or distant ships. It's a spot that makes you feel like an explorer. Number 4, the Sky Lounge or Top Deck Bar. This is the elevated bar area, like Eden on Celebrity Edge or the Sky Bar on Norwegian Epic, perched at the highest point. What makes it secret? While it's public, the forward-facing sections are often overlooked in favor of the poolside vibe. Views? Unparalleled. You're above it all, with vistas that include the horizon, stars at night, or city lights in port. Great because the height amplifies everything. Sunsets turn the sky into a canvas, and you can see weather patterns rolling in. Find it on the uppermost decks, usually aft or midship. Pro tip, go for happy hour when it's lively but not packed, or late night for stargazing with minimal light pollution. If your ship has glass elevators, ride them up for an added thrill. Number 3, hidden sun decks. These are the tucked-away sunbathing areas like the Sanctuary on Princess or Vibe Beach Club on Norwegian, adults-only zones with loungers and sometimes private hot tubs. Secret because they're pay extra or limited access, but worth it. What is it? Secluded decks with cushy seating facing out. Views? Intimate and elevated, often with partial shade for all-day comfort, overlooking pools or ocean. Best? Privacy means no distractions, just pure vista immersion, perfect for reading with a backdrop of waves. Access via reservation or fee, check on board. Pro tip, book early and pair with room service for a picnic vibe. It's like having a luxury resort on the sea. Number 2, cabin balconies with extended views. Not all balconies are equal. Opt for forward or aft-facing ones on higher decks. What is it? Your private veranda, but the secret is choosing ones that wrap around or face unobstructed. Views? Personal panoramas without leaving your room. Wake up to sunrises or sip coffee watching ports approach. Why incredible? Convenience plus exclusivity. Aft balconies give wake views, forward ones bow action. Book specific